Her message landed at 2:14 a.m. Just one line, no context, no remorse. "Come back, please." I stared at the glowing text from the dim corner booth of a roadside diner, steam rising from my untouched coffee like smoke drifting off a dying fire. This came from the same woman who, only 7 nights earlier, at a birthday dinner I organized, paid for, and pretended to enjoy, leaned back, met my eyes, and said, "You know what the perfect present would be? If you walked out of my life." Her smile had been soft, almost tender, as if she were gently setting down something heavy. I remembered nodding slowly, absorbing her words as if they were part of some business negotiation rather than the end of a marriage spoken in a single breath. I left her sitting in that restaurant, stepped into the cold, and never went back. By dawn, I had sold the house to an anonymous buyer. By midday, the accounts she relied on were frozen, each one locking with a clean, clinical finality she never imagined. By nightfall, I was gone. No letter. No confrontation. Just absence. And now she was pleading. Her message glowed on the screen, frantic, clutching like a hand reaching up through deep water. I released a slow breath. Something in her world had shattered, something she thought would never break. And I already knew this moment wasn't the real beginning. It hadn't started at her birthday dinner. It started long before, quiet and hidden, like rot beneath polished wood. The late-night work calls. The sudden insistence on privacy. The phone kept face down, as if the light of another man's message might sear us both. I noticed everything. I always do. But suspicion demands patience. You don't survive betrayal by reacting. You survive by watching. The first true crack appeared on a Wednesday. She stepped into the hallway to answer a call, thinking I was asleep. Her voice was soft, warmer than it ever was with me. I caught only 6 words. Tonight was perfect. Same time Friday. My breath stalled mid-inhale. Not because the words were unique, betrayal never is, but because of her tone. She sounded alive, more alive than she'd been with me in years. I didn't confront her. Didn't trail her. Didn't dial the number back. I simply observed the shift as it unfolded, every detail recorded with cold clarity. The new perfume not worn for me. The careful way she dressed, effort she never offered our marriage. The way she floated through the house carrying a secret tucked behind her ribs, convinced I was too blind to notice. But blindness has never been my flaw. I waited. Through her practiced smiles, her distance, the nights she returned home smelling faintly of something that wasn't ours. I waited until her birthday dinner, until she looked across that candlelit table and wrapped her final betrayal in the shape of a gift. The best thing you could give me is leaving my life. Her certainty was rehearsed, too smooth. It meant she believed she no longer needed me, not emotionally, not financially. Or so she thought. The night I walked out, I began gathering proof. Not for a confrontation, for clarity. Her phone records were simple to access. She used my account, a mistake she never realized because she thought her secrecy made her untouchable. An unfamiliar number appeared 17 times in a single week. Then the hotel charges surfaced, 3 separate reservations, identical room, on the nights she worked late. I printed the statements quietly, folded them, and slipped them into a plain envelope. Next were the bank transfers, small, steady. Money sent to an account that wasn't hers. Someone she was supporting, or investing in. DNA tests weren't needed. No children. No paternity questions. But I checked one more thing, her location history. I traced the coordinates until they formed a pattern, circling a luxury apartment downtown, the same building she once dismissed as too expensive when I suggested moving closer to work. I didn't visit. Didn't linger nearby. Just added it to the growing archive of truth. Meanwhile, she continued her life unbothered, certain she had finally freed herself of me. She had no clue what I was compiling, no sense of what I had already set in motion. When I sold the house, the timing was intentional. When I froze the accounts, I ensured they couldn't be reopened. When I disappeared, I did so without leaving a trail. Not revenge, not yet. Preparation. To dismantle someone who believes they've outsmarted you, you must first let them feel invincible. And now, a week later, her messages arrived one after another, the first, then a second, then a third, each more frantic than the last. I watched them appear, unread, unanswered. Her world was falling apart, and all I had done was remove myself from it. On day 8, she finally said it. "Please, I need to talk. It's about him." Him, the shadow I'd followed through call logs, hotel receipts, and locations. The man she thought represented freedom. I met her at a small cafe 2 towns away, neutral ground. She rushed in, breathless, eyes swollen, panic clinging to her like fabric. She began to speak, but I slid the envelope across the table first. Call logs. Hotel bookings. Transfers. Location coordinates. All of it. She read in silence, hands trembling, her expression twisting from confusion to terror. Finally, she whispered, "How did you get this?" I didn't respond. I didn't need to. She swallowed hard, her mind sprinting ahead, realizing not just that I knew, but that I had acted. That I had prepared. Then came the breaking point. "He left," she said quietly. "He only stayed because he thought I'd have access to the money, the house, the accounts. I thought you didn't care. I thought." I lifted a hand. She stopped. No explanation could save her now. Her safety net had vanished. The man she chose had used her. The one she tossed aside had never been blind. She reached for me, shaking. Please don't leave me like this. You don't have to take me back. Just help me." I leaned back, calm, unshaken. Her panic screamed. My silence roared louder. "You sold the house," she whispered. "Yes." "You emptied the accounts." "No," I corrected. "I froze them. Legally. Permanently." Her breath snagged. "But, why?" "You told me the best gift would be leaving your life," I said evenly. "So I gave it to you." She shook her head, tears streaking down her face. "I didn't mean it." I was upset, confused. "You were certain," I said. "Certainty doesn't need translation." She reached toward my arm. I moved it away before she could touch me. "Please," she sobbed. "I have nothing left." I studied her for a long, quiet moment. Then I opened a second envelope. Inside was one last document, a notarized letter affirming that she had voluntarily asked for separation that night at the restaurant. Her own words, recorded. Signed. Witnessed by staff. Her face went still. "You planned this," she breathed. "No," I answered softly. "You did. I just listened." Her expression caved in on itself, the psychological blow landing without a raised voice, without chaos, just truth delivered with surgical sharpness. She betrayed me for a man who never wanted her. She threw me away thinking she was trading up. Instead, she stepped right off a cliff she built herself. I merely stepped aside. I left her in that cafe, broken, silent, trying to gather the pieces of a life she no longer controlled. Outside, the air tasted different. Clean. Crisp. For the first time in years, my chest felt light, hollow, but unhurt.